Hello everyone, welcome to my first video ever about creating a build environment in Windows for the C++ Boost library set that will be that can be used in Visual Studio, in particular Visual Studio 2013. So first off, what is the Boost library? Boost library is a set of C++ library. If I can get you there. Okay, so this is the link to the website, boost.org. And as you can see, the current library, the current release is version 1.58.0, and this library is specifically for the C++ programming language. I will not tell you what's the library is capable of. If you're here, you can go into the library links, and it tells you all about the libraries, and you can even go into each library, for example, like ISAO, asynchronous I/O, and it tells you about all about what this library in particular is all about and the capability. But we not talk about that in this tutorial, because this is what not that this is not what the tutorial is all about. It's about how you can use the NMake that come with the Visual Studio 2013, in particular the community version, and how to use the build tool there to build the library set that can be used in your Visual Studio 2013. So, and I also for this purpose I also create a project in GitHub, and what's the heck going on here? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so I create this project in GitHub. This is the link to it, and I'll put this link in the video that I intend to put it on, post it on YouTube. But anyway, if you have the GitHub account, look for my username, Stephen Ong 2006, and then if you go there, you see I have a number of projects there, and then you go into Boost build _ Visual Studio 2013, and then there you are. And so and also you need a number of other software like Python. We will use Python 2.7, and this is a link to it. By the way, when later on when you download this, all of that will be in the README file.docx. Okay, so anyway, just so that you know. And then also we also need to download the MPI. What's the MPI stand for? Let me see. Message passing interface. And in this particular, we will use the one that implemented by Microsoft. Okay, and so with all that in mind, let's get to works. So first you need to oh, by the way, you need to download GitHub for Windows. So you need to get GitHub for Windows, and you can get it you can get it from this link right here. Okay, so download GitHub for download and install on your Windows. Okay, so back to my local environment. For this particular purpose, I create a folder in my F drive called Boost Build Project, and underneath that, right now I create another folder called Downloads, just to download all the files that I might need. Currently, I downloaded the Boost zip and MPI and Python, but follow those links from here. For example, if I download GitHub right now, I click Save File, and let's go to Boot Build Project and download, and I put the GitHub here, so that I have all the file that I needed for this all together. So I will not walk you through how to install the Visual Studio. There's instruction in this website that show you how to do that. Nor I will show you how to install any of the software that we needed. But anyway, download and install. So let's go back to here. Okay, so I already download and install my GitHub, and I assume that you done the same. So and with the GitHub, it come with oh, by the way, before you can you need to register into GitHub in order to you need to create an account in GitHub, by the way, in order to get to this, but this is open to the public. Yeah, it's open to the public. So and once you download it, come with GitHub. There's a GitHub, of course. Let me start it. So here we go, GitHub, and then you need to I believe, yeah, you need to log in, and I think you need to log in. The first time around, when you first started it, you need to log in, and then once you log in, then you can start your Git shell. Let me start my Git shell. Log into the account that you created. That is. Now, when I am in my Git shell, I can just go to that project, and I can let's go back to the link down here. It say where it say clone URL. I just copy the URL, and then at the Git shell I type git clone and put the now is it will create this folder called Boost Build _ Visual Studio 2013. which is the project name that I created. So it'll take some time for it to clone. There you go. So it's clone, and then let's go into the Boost build Visual Studio 2013. In here, you see there is a number of files. These are the make file that we will use them in to build a Boost library. Okay, and there's a source folder. Let's go into the source folder. In the source folder, I put like the executable of the 7-zip, because we have all the file in here. They are all compressed. And let me see. Oh, the ICU here is the one that I built specifically for this is by the way, let's open the archive. So in the ICU, these are the library that I built for this particular purpose. If you the reason why I'm doing that is the source code from ICU. By the way, ICU is for the Unicode thing if you just Google's on the ICU, and it will take you to that website, and it's about a Unicode thing. Anyway, I make 3 libraries built for this purpose. Just so that for the convenience sake, and I put them in the 7Z format. So that's the ICU. Why I showing you this is because in my you notice that there's a config file here. Let's bring it up. And the config file expecting the ICU, and also later on in the other make file, expecting the ICU that I built in this particular format, and etc. So it's just for the convenience sake, and you don't have to pre-make in order to build your Boost environment. One other thing that you have to do is, let's go into download. So now that we download, and I assume that you have all of this installed, as well as the Visual Studio 2013. Now, by the way, when you download the Boost library, when you download the Boost library, you need to download it in the .zip. Okay, you need to download it in the .zip. Any other format will not work. You have to download specifically for the .zip, and in this makefile set, I expecting the Boost library is in version 1.58.0. Okay, so and you need to copy or move this file into the Boost build _ Visual Studio 2013 source folder, and then you need to put it there like this. So now we have everything set up, and we are ready to make a build. Notice that in your after you install your Visual Studio 2013, you go into Visual Studio in 2013, and you see Visual Studio Tools. Okay, Now you need to start this this DOS prompt here is called developer command prompt for Visual Studio 2013. I make the shortcut here and I customize to the way that I like it. So I just start it from here. So now I am going to that project. Notice that I also install Python. So so if I Python, so it's install the Python install is 2.7.9. That's the Python version on my machine right now. Before we start, let's take a look at this config one more time. So it will right now it will the tool set or the compiler environment that it's expecting is MSVC 12.0, and the boot version is 1.58. You notice that the file name and the version that I set here is kind of like identical. See, and the zip and the zlib here, and the expect is the XML parser that we also gonna incorporate. Now let's take a look at some other file. Okay, so this is the main make file. Basically the first part of the make file is that it go in there and then take a look at for example, it's check to see if the ICU is there, and if it's there, then it say okay, let's go ahead and make a rule to extract the ICU, and also make another rule to build the ICU. And also it will spit out this message and say, hey, I found ICU, etc. So very much the first part on all the zip file is just go in there and then take a look to see if the compressed file is available, and if it does, then it's extract. Okay, so underneath the extract all so this is the grand scheme of everything. So it's first extract all, and then in the extract all, you will see all of these will have something in there if the file is available. So it extract and then build. For now, build all is just build boost. Okay, so build boost, it will run this command, and it will do the it will call the boot makes file, and I believe the boost make file, okay, is it here or is it here? Okay, so the boost make file is defined right here, make boot libs. So I doing this so later on, if let's say boost version 1.59 coming out, then all you need to do is just go into this file and then change it. Okay, all right, so I think now that we have everything set up, we are ready to build. So we no longer need a shell here. So let's run the command and make /f make main and R. So now is the first thing, it will extract all the file, as you can see. Now it's extracting all the file, and give it some time. And also notice that these are the files that have been extracted from the source directory. I see you, zlib, and right now the very last one that is extracting is the boost 1.58.0. This is a huge file, and I was unable. GitHub won't let me insert it into GitHub. Add it to the library. As you can see, is 100 and it's like 1.2 120 meg. So and anything, I think anything over certain size, I believe like 100 meg is the maximum that GitHub allow you to add your file in there. But anyway, so and you can find out that all by yourself. But the long and the short is GitHub won't let me add the boot zip in there. It would be nice so that you don't, and I don't have to walk you through download it separately and then put it in there. But anyway, so here we are. So it's extracting, and now it start building. Notice that it create a file called boost_build.log. This file, in this file, I recorded all the build activities into that. So if there's something wrong, go with the build. We can take a look, and you can also take a look at what's going on here interactively, or like almost real time. So if I go there, you will have to have the tool called tail, or the program called tail install. I have the tail. So if I do dir and tail, and then where am I? Boot build.log. So this is what's going on right now, and it say, okay, now that I found these are the libraries that I'm going to build. Notice that it's also build MPI because I install MPI on Windows. So and but I want you that this it depending on the speed of your computer. It will take a long time to build. For mine, it take up to, like, I don't know, 3-4 hours, depending, like I say, depending on the speed of your computer. So I will, and at this time we just let the software run its course, basically. Nothing to watch about. And so go and grab a cup of coffee and grab some snack, watch a movie or whatever, and then come back later on and well, we continue. Okay, so I'll break right here, and then we'll come back. Okay, have a good one. I'll see you when it's done. Okay, bye. Hello everyone. I hope your build went well. So let us take a look to see what's going on in our directory after we finish the build. Excuse me. Notice that we have a new folder. This folder was created as at the end of the build, and also before we left, we said that this is the log file that recorded all the log activity during the build. Okay, so let us first take a look at what's going on in this new folder. So under this new folder, you have 8 folders, as what we indicated before. We build the Boost library built in 8 flavors, right? Static debug, static release, static 64-bit debug, and static 64-bit release, etc. So it depending on how you configure your environment in the Visual Studio, it will look, you have to point it to a specific library later on. I'll show you how to do that as a demo after this, but and let's just pick a library and then go in there and see what's going on. So I'll take a look at the static debug library. Okay, so under each library you have 2 group of the folder. One is called include, and if you go into include, you see Boost 158, and then underneath that there's a folder called Boost. All the header file is contained in this folder. So as you can see, these are all the header file of the libraries, library set. Okay, so let's go back to the lib. Okay, or lib. Notice that this is the debug, static debug library. For example, let's just pick the atomic. So the atomic tells your linker, okay, I am a static, and I was built using the toolset 1.20. I am a multi-threaded, and SGD means the D means debug. The S, I believe, means static. The G, I don't know what the G means. Maybe you can look it up. So that's what it means. So this is for static. And notice that because it's a static, we don't see any .dll in here. So let's go back and to see the same one in this class, i.e. the share. Okay, and then so notice the share, the same Boost atomic, but the name and the library, for each library there is a DLL library. It stands for dynamic link library, by the way. And you also have the GD, right? And also built with the same tool set, i.e. version 1.20, right? And you also, because this is a debug, so you also have a D here. So now let's go into a release. So notice that the release, we don't have any GD or any D in here in the library names. So because the linker will, excuse me, the linker will, as the time of compiling, the linker will come in and look for a specific name based on, depending on how you configure your environment, your yeah. Okay, so so we have the library built and everything. Let's go ahead and try something from the Boost library. In particular, okay, so let's go into the library. In particular, I like to try something from the ASIO. And so let's go into the example and see, and the O3. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick the chat example. In the chat example, you have 3 files, right? You have chat message and client and server. So this one is the message, chat message. It's a header file. You can tell by the HTTP, and the client and the server. So let's go ahead and create a project in Visual Studio. So I started Visual Studio, and I go ahead and create a project. Okay, it's a Win console. Going to the F drive. Okay, I'm gonna create a folder. Actually, I don't need to. So I, yeah, okay. So I rename it to Boost example ASIO. So I gonna create the chat server first. Chat server project, create directory for solution. Okay. And I go into here. It's a console application. I don't want any precompile header. I want to create it as an empty project. And as I finish, and just for the sake of simplicity, I don't want any header file nor any resource file. Yes. Now I am going to add new item, and I'm going to add the where am I? What's it called? Okay, it's called chatserver.cpp. So I'm gonna add it. So now, and so I am going to just do a straight copy. And paste, and just save it. Now I also want to create another item. I want to create a header file. And this guy called chat message. And just add it. The same thing. I'm gonna copy it. And I'm gonna save it. Now notice that I am now is a debug Win32, so I can either point to so let's go ahead and configure the project. So it point, I'm going to C++ and I gonna add additional include directory. And I am going to for simplicity, I go ahead and use the static. Okay, notice that I stop right here. Right, I don't go into boost. I'll show you in a little bit why. Select folder, okay, apply, okay. Okay, why I stop at the boost directory? Notice that the all the boots including file, they are like boots and slash. So we don't go into the boots library because that's the way the header file was declared. Okay, so and also I will need to point the linker. Additional library directory. Okay. Static debug lib. Okay. Notice that you don't have to specify the library, unlike in Linux you have to like -l and then the library name, etc. You don't have to do it in Visual Studio because it does the auto link thing. So I hit apply, hit OK. Now I'm ready to build. So I just hit build. Yeah, we have the warning here, but it's about the these are the standard C++, but it's built, succeeded. Yeah, and some of the thing here. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these into the preprocessor. to the command line. Oh, add this to the preprocessor. Sorry. Preprocessor. So at this line, and then let's give it a try. Notice that it's gone now. The string cat thing, we're not gonna fix it here, but if you look for the example from the web that how to use string cat underscore s instead of string cat, or if we want to just for now, although this is not a recommend practice, so that we can just go on with our demo. So we just go ahead and it will still work in this case, but it's not recommended. So project only. So now we took care of all the warnings. Okay, so now that we have a chess server, I'm going to create another project, because we need two executable. We need one for the client and one for the server, and therefore for each executable we require to create a new project. So add new project, and I'm gonna call this project chat client. And I'm gonna save it in boot example. Okay, and it's a Win32 console application, so I hit OK, next. And I don't want any, I want to create just an empty project, and I hit finish. Okay, so the chess server. Okay, so same thing here. We don't need those. I'm gonna remove those. And I go ahead and for now just close these two files. I think we're done with them. Now I'm gonna add new item, and it's a so let's go back to our example here. So this is a chat client, so I'm gonna copy the file name exactly the way it is. Okay, and I'm gonna copy the content of the chat client. Oh, okay. And I'm gonna save it. Yep. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Add new item, and it's a header file. Ooh, I don't want to do this. Well, let's do this. instead of removing it. Okay. Where's my header file? I think it's here. Okay, so chat message. So instead of removing it, I just rename it. Okay, it's a chat message, and okay, and here we go. So now we go into copy the chat message. Okay. And we go into now we go into we will do the same thing. Additional include directory. We will point to static debug include. Here we go. Select folder, hit apply, and the linker additional library directory. We will static debug lib. Select folder, okay, apply. Okay, so now we compile and we'll project only. And then we get a whole bunch of things like what we got before. So we're gonna add this guy. C++. Notice that it should well, I should be more careful. Notice that this configuration is only applicable to the debug, but yeah, but you know, for now, let's just okay, apply, okay, and then I don't want to see this warning either, so here we go. So here we have the client and server, and notice that because these are the network programming, and if you have firewall on your computer, you need to open the firewall to a specific port in order for this to work. So for that purpose, let's open a port. Firewall. Let's see, do I have anything open? Okay, I have a port that open. Okay, let's write it down. And be sure that you close the port after you're done, so that people don't hack into your computer. 542. Okay, so I'm gonna need 3 command prompt. Okay, I'm gonna need 3 command prompt. And let's see, boot example. Chat client. Okay. So okay, so the chat client, chat client exe is here. So first go there first. Okay, and let's see where the chat server is. Oh, okay. The chat server is the same place, and since these are the chat programs, we need 2 clients and 1 server. That's why we need 3 windows. So I'm gonna start the server. Okay, and if you don't know what to put in, just go ahead and start, and it tells you, okay, now I need chat server and I need a port. So I'm gonna, since I open this port for this purpose, so I just start with this. And okay, same thing with the client. Okay, so the client need another parameter, which is the host. So I just tell the client I want to connect to local host, and again my port is this. Okay, and then same thing with at the other window. Okay, so let's try it out. Oh, so it works, right? So hi there. Oh, hey. So see, it's working now. All right. So so that concluded our demo. So that also proves that the library that we built is actually working. Also, another note is if you ever want to use a shared library from this group, you need to make sure that wherever you put the shared library, the path the path to the folder that contain the DLL, but specific the DLL libraries, it has to be in your computer path. Like go into my computer property, and I think advanced system setting, and then environment variable. You have a variable here called path. Make sure that the path to that is in there, and then so you can be able to run your program. Otherwise, it will complain and say, "Hey, I cannot find the library that you're linking with to begin with." Things like that. Okay, so this concluded the tutorial of how to make the how to create the logo, the environment to build a Boost library for Visual Studio 2013. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you they will start your interest in the Boost library. I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn from the libraries. I cannot say enough of how much the functionality in each library that they're providing. Hope you have fun learning the library, and I guess I'll see you around. Bye.